Ancient cities built from more rock than the pyramids. Massive ancient stadiums, a fortress carved into a mountain, and a temple bigger than the Parthenon, carved out of one single rock. All this and more in amazing ancient ruins that'll blow your mind. Know before you go. 1. Ephesus, Turkey. The area around this city was inhabited as early as 6000 BC, but the city itself was founded in the 10th century BC, and it was conquered and reconquered by many different people throughout its history. However, the majority of the ruins left today come from the Greeks and Romans over 2000 years ago. The great thing about these ruins is that you can be a part of them, imagining you're in that era, entering the Library of Celsus and reading one of the 12,000 scrolls held there, sitting in the Great Theatre, cheering along with 25,000 Romans, strolling down the ancient royal road with St. Paul and his disciples. 2. Angkor, Cambodia. Angkor was the capital city of the Khmer Empire from the 9th to the 15th century. Judging by the size of the area's irrigation and agricultural systems, it's estimated to have supported between 750,000 and 1 million people. Over 1,000 temples are scattered over the area, but the most breathtaking is Angkor Wat. Surrounded by a 620-foot wide moat and then 98 feet of open ground, Angkor Wat is nearly 9 million square feet, making it the largest religious structure in the world. It is covered in stone carvings and bas-reliefs depicting Hindu stories and religious events. The entire city of Angkor was bigger than the modern-day Paris and used more stone than all the Egyptian pyramids combined. And unlike the Egyptians who got their stone from a quarry a third of a mile away, Angkor's stone came from a quarry over 25 miles away. Number 3. Masada, Israel. Perched on the top of an isolated rock, this fortress was built over 2,000 years ago for King Herod to use in the event of a revolt. The complex had storehouses, barracks, a church, a stepped pool, a quarry and a bathhouse, and many other buildings including giant water cisterns that were used for capturing and storing rainwater. The fortress was only accessible by 3 narrow paths that led up the cliffside to 3 fortified gates. Number 4. Ayutthaya, Thailand. Founded in the 14th century by King Yu Thong, who went there to escape a smallpox outbreak, it quickly became a bustling city, and by the 17th century, it had a population of around 300,000 people. In the early 1700s, it's estimated that the city had a population of around 1 million people, making it one of the largest cities in the world at the time. In 1767, the city was attacked and destroyed by the Burmese army, and the city was subsequently abandoned. The ruins that remain today give us an idea of the city's former grandeur. Number 5. Mesa Verde, USA. The Mesa Verde National Park is located in Colorado and has been inhabited, if only seasonally at first, since 7,500 BC. But it wasn't until around the 7th century that villages began to be constructed. By the end of the 12th century, the Mesa Verdeans were building these massive cliff dwellings. By the start of the 13th century, the town's population had grown to over 20,000 people. However, nearly 70 years of continually low rainfall and drought caused people to abandon Mesa Verde, and by the start of the 14th century, Mesa Verde's 700 years of continual inhabitants had come to an end. Number 6. Hampi, India. Once a wealthy and prosperous city, Hampi began as a small town around the 6th century, and it slowly became the centre of religious and educational activities, and by the early 16th century, it had become the second largest medieval-era city and probably the richest city in India. In 1565, the city was conquered, pillaged, burned, and abandoned. But even though the city was destroyed, around 500 ancient monuments still remain today, which kind of makes you shudder to think how many were lost. Among them are the Vithala Temple and its stone chariot, the Lotus Palace, the beautiful Virupaksha Temple, the Elephant Stables, and the Hampi Bazaar. Number 7. Sigiriya, Sri Lanka. Sigiriya is an ancient fortress that was carved into a 660-foot high column of rock as a stronghold for King Kashyapa between 477 and 495 AD. Around Sigiriya are the water gardens, boulder gardens, and terrace gardens. A steep staircase takes you up the rock to the mid-level terrace that has the Lion's Gate, frescoes, and the mirror wall that was once so smooth that the king could see his own reflection in it. The steep stairs continue to the top where the ruins of the palace remain, complete with water cisterns that were also carved into the rock. Number 8. Ellora Caves, India. Over 100 caves, all excavated from the cliffs of the Sharanandri Hills between 550 and 950 AD. Only 34 of these caves are open to the public, but there's still a tremendous amount to see. Perhaps the finest cave, and definitely the biggest, is the Kailasa Temple. Carved from one single rock, it is twice the size of the Parthenon in Athens and is the largest monolithic sculpture in the world. The temple itself is dedicated to Shiva, but numerous other shrines dedicated to other gods and deities lie within. It is estimated that the sculptors had to remove 3 million cubic feet of rock, weighing approximately 200,000 tons to create this temple. Have you ever visited any of these ruins? Comment below. Please like and subscribe for more.